This is the story of how Abraham is tested. Isaac now grew up to be a lovely young boy. His father and mother were very proud of Isaac and were thankful each day to God for blessing them. One day, God wanted to test Abraham's faith and commitment to him. So God told Abraham to take his son, Isaac, and offer him as a sacrifice on one of the mountains which God will show him. Abraham was very unhappy and crushed over this because he loved his son with all his heart. But he was such an obedient man to God and had much faith and trust in God. So Abraham got up very early in the morning and started to prepare. Abraham saddled his donkey and took 2 young men with him. Along with his son Isaac, he cut the wood for the burnt offering and set off on the journey to where God had told them to go. After traveling for 3 days, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance where he had to go. Abraham commanded his servants to stay behind with the donkey while himself and Isaac will go and worship God, and then they will return. Abraham took all the cut wood to use for the burnt offering and put it on Isaac's shoulders. Then Abraham took the fire pot and the knife, and they walked off together. Isaac then asked his father that he saw that there was fire and wood for the burnt offering, but there was no lamb. Abraham then answered Isaac and said that God will provide himself a lamb for the offering. The 2 then continued to walk together. As they arrived at the place which God told them to go to, Abraham started building an altar and arranging all the wood. He then tied his son Isaac and set him on top of the wood of the altar. Abraham then reached up his hand, holding the knife, when suddenly an angel appeared and said, "Abraham, Abraham, do not hurt the boy, as God knows you have respect and love for him, so much so that you are willing to sacrifice your own son." Abraham then looked up and saw a ram caught in the thick bushes by his horns. Abraham took this ram and offered it as a sacrifice to God in the place of his son. Abraham was so faithful and obedient to God that God truly blessed Abraham and all of his descendants. This story starts as a very sad story, but has a wonderful ending. I know nobody would ever want the people we love to be taken away from us. But Abraham had so much trust in God, and because of his complete faithfulness to God, God never let Abraham do that horrible thing. Then, because God could see how faithful Abraham was, that he was willing to give up his much-loved son, God blessed him and all his family for many years. How wonderful it is to know that God will always look after us if we just trust and obey him.